Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nikki LaRose. Valentine's Day is right around the corner, but I want to do something that's a little less traditional than the typical looks you see for Valentine's Day. I want to give you a romantic look, but with a slight goth edge. So let's get right into it. I'm starting with my skin prepped, and to jump right into the eye makeup, I'll first be applying the Girlactik Shadow Stick and Blush. This is a really beautiful eyeshadow base, and I'm choosing this one because I want to go for more of a overall blush tone eye makeup look. So I'm laying this down as my base color for the rest of my shadows to go on top. This is great if you blend it out and use it as a eyeshadow base. It will keep your powder eyeshadows from creasing throughout the day, and it'll help to really give them grip as well. So blending this out with a BK Beauty brush just to diffuse the edges, and I'm really bringing that out towards my temples like I typically like to do, just to really elongate the shape of my eyes. Now you do want to work quickly with the shadow stick. You don't want to wait too long before you blend out the edges because this does have a pretty quick dry down time, which is great because it is going to be a long lasting base, like I said, for the rest of your eyeshadows to go on top. So blending and buffing away, just blending that out towards my temple to give it a nice blown out effect. Now for powder eyeshadow, I'll be using one of these beautiful colors in the Ethereal Eyes palette from Makeup by Mario. And with the Rephr 01 brush, it's just a blending brush. It's very similar to the MAC 217. You can see that I'm applying this blush tone powder eyeshadow all over that base that I first laid down. This eyeshadow is gripping onto that base really nicely, and it's going on super pigmented. So I'm just blending this eyeshadow all on top, repeating the process on the bottom lash line. So shadow stick first, I'm going to softly blend it out, and then I'm going to apply that Makeup by Mario blush tone on top. This is a great practice if you have runny eyes or if you have allergy prone eyes. If you're going to use a shadow or an eyeliner on the bottom lash line and your eyes are prone to running from allergies, this is a great practice and a great technique to utilize. Onto eyeliner, I'll be using the soft brown pencil from Makeup by Mario. Now I know I said soft goth for this makeup look, but I want it to be still wearable and not too dark and intense. So I know when we think goth, we think of all black and just black eyeliner and all those things, but I'm switching it out for a soft brown liner to make it more wearable, to make it more romantic, and to kind of mix the two worlds together. Blending it out now with one of my favorite brushes from Zoeva and a little bit of a dark brown shadow from the Ethereal Eyes palette, just to diffuse that line even more, and it's also going to help set that liner into place so it does not budge. I'm slowly working in layers to build up the intensity of that shadow and that liner just to get to where I want it. So not too intensely smoky, like I said, just sultry enough and edgy enough. Keeping with this soft brown theme instead of black, I'm going to tightline with Mambo eye pencil from NARS. If you saw my full face NARS makeup tutorial, you know that I picked this up recently, and I'm so happy I did. I've been missing this pencil in my life. Now on to a little bit of shimmer and a little bit of fun. This is going to give the center of my eyes a really glossy and wet look, but with a metallic sparkle. So it's from the Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes palette. It's one of the shimmers. I sprayed it first with MAC Fix Plus Stay Over Spray, so it would go on even more intensely and even more metallic. I'm focusing it on the center because I want to give this eye makeup look a fun halo effect. So this was a big trend a couple years back to have halo eyes, and I still think it's a really beautiful way to wear your eyeshadow. Just focusing that shimmer and that light reflecting quality in the center of your eyes. It's so eye-catching, it's so different, it's so beautiful. Patting on another layer with my fingers just for even more intensity. And now onto mascara. I've been loving this one from Lawless. This formula is fantastic. This builds volume and thickness so quickly, but this mascara can clump really easily if you're not careful. So when you're applying it, be intentional, pay attention. I've definitely ruined a couple eye makeup looks while haphazardly applying this mascara because the wand is so big. So I do love this formula, but I do have to be pretty careful when I'm applying it. But the result is totally worth it. Now onto one of my favorite products of 2022. I'm still wearing this consistently. It's the Haus Labs Triclone Skin Tech Foundation in the shade 230. I'm applying this with another favorite, my BK Beauty 106 brush, and just patting this into the areas I want more coverage and then blending it out in the areas I want a little less coverage. Now that my foundation is done, I'm going to pick up the NARS Laguna Cream Bronzer. I have been loving this ever since I picked it up for my NARS full face makeup tutorial. I'm going to apply this with a BK Beauty 107 brush because I want it to be really soft and really diffused. And since this brush is a little bit bigger and as you can see it's fluffy, it's going to give me a really nice, really soft application of this product. It's not going to be too intense. And it's also really easy to blend out this product with this big brush. So going over all my favorite places underneath my cheekbone, but in a higher position like I like to do because it gives me a nice lift. I also applied this straight across my forehead, and I'm going to use this also to softly contour and shade my nose. And to blend it on the side of my nose, I'm using a BK Beauty Angie Hot and Flashy. It's the A501 brush. This brush makes it really quick and easy to apply a cream bronzer or cream contour to the nose. And of course, it wouldn't be a makeup tutorial of mine if I didn't put this around my lips. So I'm going to bring this around my lip line just to give me that J.Lo lip vibe. This is something that her makeup artist has done for years, and it's such an incredible trick. Now on to color correcting my under eyes. I'm going to use one of my favorites. It's the Bobbi Brown color corrector in light peach. I do prefer to apply this with my fingertips because the warmth of my fingertips really helps to melt this into my under eyes. So just patting that into the darkest part of my eyes, and then I'm going to go straight on top of that with one of my favorite concealers. And for concealer, I'll be using one of my favorites. It's the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Honey. Honey has a beautiful pink tone, which is a really beautiful brightening concealer for me, especially because I do have darker circles under my eyes. So this helps to color correct even more and to bring brightness to that area of my face. I am going to bring this along the side of my nose and line it right up to where I put that cream contour. This is going to enhance that cream contour around my nose even more and also help to just blend it out. I'll also bring this up towards my temple to give my eyes a little lift and sculpt up. Straight down the bridge of my nose like you know I like to do as my highlight. I'll also take this onto the top of my chin and a little bit around my nose and my smile lines just to bring light and brightness to this area where I have a couple more shadows. And of course to the center of my forehead, pretty much right between my brows. I'm now blending out the edges of that concealer with a BK Beauty 212 brush. This is essentially a blending eyeshadow brush. So I love to use brushes like this for fine detail blending, like around my under eyes, around my nose, into the forehead, anywhere where I've highlighted with a concealer. This is a great brush to really get in there and to finally blend out those edges. Now you may be thinking that this is not really much of a goth look, to be honest, but what's gonna take it to that point is the lip. So I can't wait to show you the lip. I'm so excited for it. It's such a beautiful, richly pigmented lip combo. And it's really what's gonna give this eye makeup look, especially that kind of goth feel, but in a romantic way, because I'm doing these blush tones and I'm really blending that look out and I'm softly applying these tones. So it's goth, but it's soft and it's still romantic. Now for highlighter, I bring this out for special occasions. I would consider Valentine's Day a nice special occasion to apply this cream highlighter. This is the Westman Atelier cream highlighter. This is a really beautiful, soft pink tone. So I'm going to use this pretty much as my blush. For this look in particular, and honestly so many of my other looks, I love to keep anything I'm using as my blush. I like to keep it higher up. I've talked about this a lot, I know, but I like to give my cheeks a nice sculpt and a nice lifted effect. And by applying my blush or even my deeper highlighters like this one that I'm using right now in a higher placement on my face, it just gives the illusion of more of a sculpted, more of like that model cheekbone look, which who isn't going for that? So I applied this pretty high up using a BK Beauty 109 brush. This makes it really quick and really easy. And now on to setting my under eyes. I'll be using one of my favorites, the Givenchy Prismelibre powder in number 3. This has that rose tone to it, or that slight pink tone to it, I should say. And of course, applying it with one of my favorite products that I can't live without. It is the powder puffs that I buy in bulk on Amazon. And if you want the links to these, I will make sure I include them in the description box below. I also have this linked in my Amazon favorites. So I'm bringing this all under my eye and then sweeping it up towards my temple and anywhere that I highlighted my face. So the center of my face, you can see that I brought this along the side of my nose, again, to intensify and to really bring out that nose contour that I applied earlier. This is also going to help so much with oil production throughout the day. So if you do have more oily skin, especially in the T-zone, if you apply a heavier amount, not a crazy amount, but just a heavier amount on the side of your nose where you get more oily, or any of the areas that you get more oily. For me, this is my spot. If you apply a little bit more powder in that area and you let it sit for a couple of seconds or a minute or two, whatever you have time for, it's really going to help so much with oil control throughout the day. Now, I know I said I wasn't going to apply an actual blush, but after looking at this look in my monitor, I decided I needed just a little extra bit of color. So I'm applying one of my favorites. It's the Dior 001 Pink Blush. This is, a viral blush, so it's been very hard to find. But if you can find this blush and you're my skin tone a little bit deeper or a little bit lighter, this is a really beautiful pink. And I still feel like it's neutral enough to wear with a lot of different eye makeup looks. But for Valentine's Day, this blush, I just had to incorporate it. So I'm layering this on top very lightly. I'm not applying a ton of it on top of that Westman Atelier highlighter, and I'm applying it with a BK Beauty Luxe Sheer Cheek brush. And just like with the highlighter, I'm applying this pretty high up, bringing it up towards my temple, and I am going to sweep whatever's left over on the bridge of my nose. Okay, on to lips, the grand finale of this look. And like I said earlier, this is what's going to take this look from being just a beautiful, romantic, soft blush tone eye and cheek look to more of an edgy, soft, romantic goth look. So the lip is what's going to take it over the edge and give it that look and that kind of vibe. And what inspired me to do this, of course, is just the resurgence of the goth makeup trend in general and just the Wednesday show. It's been trending all over, and I felt very inspired to do something different and also to incorporate into Valentine's Day. So instead of bringing like that traditional red lip, classic Valentine's Day makeup tutorial that I feel like we've all seen a bunch of times, I just wanted to do something a little bit different, a little edgy. Let me know in the comments, of course, if you like this look. I'm going to be so curious to hear your thoughts or if you recreate it. So on to important information. This is the Foxy Brown lip liner from Charlotte Tilbury. If you know me and my channel, you know I love this lip liner so much. And actually watching this right now reminded me that I need to get another one in my possession because I'm almost out of this one. I've been using it so much. So I'm softly lining my lips, focusing the intensity of this lip pencil in the center of my lip, just to really round out my lip shape. And then I'm feathering as I get towards the inner part of my lip line. I want the inner part of my lip line to be a little bit softer, not so harsh, and not so intensely defined. And now onto lipstick. This is the Fenty Beauty lipstick in Crowd Surfer. This is a really beautiful, deep, rich berry. And this is just a beautiful, rich berry color. It's almost like a really deep raspberry. And this lipstick looks so beautiful when you pair it with a deeper, more neutral brown lip liner. It just gives a great edge to this lipstick. So that's why I wanted to pair the two together. Now I'm softly blending out the edges and really melting this into that lip liner to give almost, dare I say, a soft ombre effect. If you guys remember the ombre lip trend that was around for a long time, leave me a comment and let me know. I'm kind of going for that, but in a very soft way. So that's why I'm blending the edge and really melting the two worlds together. Going back one more time with that lip liner because it's all about building intensity with small layers. So if you have the patience and you have the time and you really want your lipstick to be just perfect, work in small layers, take your time, get that lip line nice and perfect. And also make sure you make really funny faces while you're doing it because that helps. So now feathering that lip liner in one more time, just like I did before. And I'm going to repeat the process after I clean up this lip line just a touch with a tiny bit of concealer and a flat brush from Zoeva. And just like I promised, I'm going back over with one more layer of that Fenty Beauty lipstick, and I'm really pushing that pigment and that product onto my lips. And rather than just swiping it clear across my lip and depositing too much of that product, I want to maintain the integrity of that lip liner that you saw I so carefully applied layers of. To set my makeup, I use the Xoxo Dual Shield Set and Glow Mist for the first time. Honestly, my first impression was I was not too keen with this setting spray. It was kind of an assault on my face. And that completes this romantic goth makeup look. So that wraps up this romantic makeup look with a goth edge. If you like this tutorial, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you like these videos, click on this one right here, and I'll see you all soon. Bye. Happy Valentine's Day.